working for TeamWire in the sales team. I'm going to present you TeamWire, our secure messaging app for enterprises and government agencies. So TeamWire is basically a secure WhatsApp messenger for enterprises, and what we do is solving the WhatsApp problem that many enterprises and companies currently have. To give you a quick overview of why many companies currently have a problem with internal communications, let's look at what we call the messaging era. Smartphones have become a primary medium for communication, for the most part in private life, but more and more in companies. The smartphone has become an essential part of communication with family, friends, colleagues, and groups. So many companies are already distancing themselves from the PC and focusing on mobile phones. There is a transition going on away from email to messaging and internal communication. Privately, everyone uses WhatsApp. Without WhatsApp, you have no social environment. The users know that when they send an email, it takes a long time till they get feedback. On the other side, they know when they send a WhatsApp message, normally they get instant response. So they start setting up group chats for projects, their teams, meetings, and so on. And suddenly the enterprise has got a shadow IT as part of the organization, which most of the enterprises are very worried about because of data protection, GDPR, place of the cloud servers, all the metadata. Enterprises are looking for WhatsApp alternatives that works the same, but which fulfills all the data protection and security requirements. So if you don't provide your employees with a WhatsApp alternative, the employee will be using what they know, and that's WhatsApp. TeamWire is an intuitive messaging app similar to WhatsApp with all known functions like one-to-one and group chats, sharing digital content like photos, videos, location, files, and documents. You have read receipts even, you have read receipts even for group chats. We are a German vendor, and in Germany, data protection is pretty high from the standard. We also fulfill requirements of GDPR and do strong encryption. TeamWire is a multi-device solution, and you can host TeamWire in the German cloud. You can host it in private cloud as managed service, or even store it on premise with full control. There is an easy and comprehensive administration of TeamWire, and we support MDM solutions like Mobile Iron. All the data is secured in the container on the mobile devices, and you can automate the rollout for mobile devices with minimum support. TeamWire offers unique alerting and crisis communication features for critical events. So alarms are priority messages to draw attention to critical events. One of the important aspects of TeamWire is the last point, bots and integration with third-party systems. It is important that the messaging solution can be extended and integrated. You can integrate TeamWire into the IT system, and we offer an API and SDK, and you can develop bots based on the SDK. Here are some references. The focus of all the references are high security and data protection requirements. So all of them have the same problem. They search an easy-to-use WhatsApp alternative, which is highly administrable and ensures the strong German data protection and GDPR. Sparkassen, for example, it's one of the largest German banking group with over 200,000 employees in Germany. They use TeamWire as an internal WhatsApp alternative. So for them, it was very important that they have the multi-tenant capability, so each larger office can manage itself. Barmer is one of the largest health insurance in Germany. The focus was the fast and secure exchange between desktop and mobile workers. The police, normally they have only the digital radio. They had no ways to share photos and videos. They used WhatsApp in the past, and they need a secure WhatsApp alternative with large group chats. So we have also state television, universities, hospitals, big telecommunication company, and energy firms. An important point that is often forgotten in the WhatsApp discussion is the productivity benefits that save costs and at the end at the end of the day. Employees doesn't use WhatsApp recklessly. He sees the productivity in WhatsApp. He moves forward and faster. He can communicate quickly within the groups. He receives quick feedback from colleagues. So I will highlight just two things. For example, the last meetings, what you can see in TeamWire with all the group chats and channels, you have less requirements for meetings in person. For all the little things, especially in larger organizations, where you have sometimes senseless meetings, often these things are discussed in group chats, and there are no requirements to do meetings anymore. Or the next point, higher employee satisfaction. Especially for younger employees, it is using email old-fashioned. They want innovative tools that they use already in their private time, plus new features like using bots for sending commands to third-party solutions and get instant feedback about weather, vacation, or the menu plan. From a GDPR perspective, we store data only in Germany. You can have it as a cloud or as well as on-premise solution wherever you want to deploy it. So we don't store address books or do metadata analysis, and we have privacy by design and privacy by default. So everything is pseudonymized. From a security aspect, we encrypt everything. So all the messages, data, storage are full encrypted. TeamWire offers an access management. You can see who used the solution and which device are registered by user. You can block devices if they get lost or stolen, and you can remote it. You can remote wipe it over the administration portal. There is an administrator portal for the whole authorization and service monitoring of the organization, and you can use the portal to prevent data from being lost if any employee loses his device or it's stolen or the employee leaves the company. Also important is that you can connect to your LDAP or Active Directory to synchronize and automate the whole user management. You have a multi-tenancy ability, which is for larger organizations important to manage the individual tenants. There are also communication policies where you can define who is allowed to communicate with whom. You have an audit-proof archiving function, so normally enterprises need to document all the communication that they have done with the tool as part of the revision. We support MDM solutions like Mobile Iron. We support all the solutions which are part of the app config community. So from the productivity side, it's important that you can automatically roll out TeamWire with the MDM solution. The first time the user opens the app, with one click, he's registered and can use the app. This lowers the support efforts for the IT and security department. It's also important for many enterprises how they want to communicate with external users and how they can secure messaging or secure communication with them. On the one hand, you have the option in the cloud to enable external communication so that users can connect with externals via the address book. And this is GDPR compliant and no data is stored. On the other hand, there's the possibility of secured guest accounts. An ID and a password are created via the portal, and the customer can register with these access data. So you have complete control and administration over these accounts. We have two interesting features that our customers use and appreciate very much. On the one hand, the alerting feature, and on the other hand, the emergency alarm. So alerts are priority messages designed to inform recipients of critical events, emergencies, or crisis situations. They are received with a special alarm sound and vibrate stronger on the device in order to generate enough attention for a critical event. Alerts are visually highlighted and marked red in the app. You can send an alert in any one-to-one or group chat. Additionally, alerts can be triggered automatically from other systems via the API. For example, the fire alarm system or the machines in a production. Teamwire provides an emergency alarm. It's called like panic button for instantly triggering an alert in situations where an employee cannot type and every second counts. It's easily accessible in the app by a right swipe. After the alarm is triggered, the GPS position of the user and the voice message, 30 seconds long, are sent to a group chat with an emergency team. The responsible team can coordinate all necessary measures in time. So the advantages are clear. You can send fast alerts in critical incidents, and you can coordinate teams easy and effective. The recipient of an alert can respond to the alert. So I'm safe, I need help, or any specific message. Any connected system can also send an alert to a group of users. Due to a shorter response times, the damage of an accident is less. So with Teamwire, you improve the security of all employees. Here you see the integration in the ecosystem, and the user of the Teamwire, you have the Teamwire data, you have the with the provided SDK, you can develop your own bots to integrate in third-party software like CRM, HR system, support system, and you can also integrate bots into IoT, so machines, productions, alarm systems, and some bot examples that increase the employees' productivity and acceptance are, for example, a menu bot. So an employee sends a command Thursday to the bot communicates with the database of the menu plan, and immediately the user gets a message which meal is on the menu that day. Or an HR bot. So the employee sends a command vacation to the bot. The bot communicates with the HR database, and you will receive within seconds feedback how many vacation days you have. So it's definitely faster than the HR employee calls the program, log in, search the employee, so he needs few clicks until he receives the vacation days. One other interesting bot is the CardZ bot. It's a car plate bot. So the police officer sends a car plate number to the bot. The bot communicates with the respective database and sends back the holder details. So the police officer got the name, the address, the birthday, and the car model. So within seconds, you get all the information you need. This allows you to automate processes and workflows and get faster the information you need. To summarize, I would like to mention that Teamwire, or with Teamwire, you can message faster and share any kind of digital content. You have improved communication with managed groups, read receipts, polls, distribution lists, and this leads to higher productivity. You can easily digitalize workflows and processes with bots and integrations. The intuitive user interface and advanced features of Teamwire, the possibility to use bots and get faster response increase the satisfaction of the employees. So we have the alerting function with the which increases the protection of employees. You have a secured messaging and strong privacy protection with Teamwire. So Teamwire ensures company-wide compliance, administration, and security. So here are our Contact details to get in touch with us. You're welcome to test TeamWire for 30 days with 10 users on smartphones, tablets, and desktops free of charge. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Kazim. I'm not sure, Gianfranco, will you show the demo?
Yes, I can. I have now my screen connected to my PC. Let me share the screen. But I think I first need to just close it.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, all good. Thank you.
Perfect. So let me first check that this is also active. It's a little bit slow, but I think that's the transmission or the transport from the app to the PC. So basically, I mean, as Kasim mentioned, TeamWire is an alternative, a WhatsApp alternative for businesses. One thing that we didn't mention in the presentation is the fast communication within large teams. For example, what you can see here in the contact details, that there are predefined lists. So you can take those lists to easily create messages. If you take the HW1301 and HW1302, there are lists which you have like 500 participants in that list. If you want to create a message, you go to the inbox, you hit the create button, and you select basically HW1301 and 32. You write a text, you send a message, and within 2 clicks you have created a group chat. Oops, I didn't want to do this one. And you have created a group chat with 1,000 users. The interesting thing is, if you have a group chat based on those lists, on those predefined lists, the members of the list are not able to change the structure of the group, meaning that they can't leave the group, and they are not allowed to add additional people to the list. So if I am a department lead, a director, whatsoever of a certain area of a company, I have a group I'm using to communicate with, and employees are forced to read my messages. They are not allowed to leave the message, and even more important, they are not allowed to actually add additional people to the chat. What Kasim mentioned, the alerting function, I have a flick button. You can't see it right now, but if I hit a button, I will receive now a alert message. Probably you can't hear the ringing, but it's pretty loud on my side. And basically, the alert message appears always on top of the inbox. If I get now a normal message, I get now a warning message. Also with this flick button, you see that the warn message is below the inbox. That means that this one has priority, and unless it has been read, it appears always there. If I open the message, you can see that you have quick replies. You can send the okay, I've got the alerting and I'm fine. You can send an SOS, or you can send a predefined message that you are able to enter as part of the alert function. But of course, you can also write some text that you wish to be sent to the guy who has sent the alert function. And of course, as the guy who has sent the message, you have an overview now. It's only me in that chat, and I have responded. But if you have, for example, 300 people, there's a fire alarm. You see who has read the message, who needs help in order to, give help to the customer, to the employee. The other thing what Kasim mentioned is the alerting the SOS function. So if you are in the inbox and you do a wipe to the right, you see this SOS button, and as Kasim mentioned, you hit the button, your GPS coordination will be sent, and an audio message will be recorded. Those are two use cases we have implemented where we have received really great feedback. Another thing that Kasim mentioned is the bot integration, and we believe this is a pretty important piece of productivity benefit, but also to get employee satisfaction. If I take this car plate bot, for example, I copy this car plate number, I send it to the bot, and you can see that I get immediately the holder details back. And this is important for 2 reasons. As mentioned, it enhances productivity, but it also enhances the acceptance of the solution, because the employee now gets some data that it's much more difficult to get without a spot. So it helps to solve two issues: additional productivity, and second, to enhance the acceptance of the solution. Because one of the questions that we always get from customers is, how can you ensure that TeamViewer will be used? If I buy TeamViewer, how can I ensure that TeamViewer will be used and WhatsApp is not going to be used for business purposes anymore? And there are two answers to that. First of all, the solution is that it has to be, if you have an alternative to WhatsApp, it has to be as easy to use and with all the function that WhatsApp offers. And second, you have to implement additional use cases. So if the customer, the employee, sees that I have additional use cases I can fulfill, he will use it by default. And that's the answer basically to get TeamViewer rolled out